Ghost Ship Movie. The story begins in 1962 aboard the luxurious Italian ocean liner SS Antonia Grazia. The scene is set during a grand dance party in the ship's ballroom. As the passengers joyfully dance, a sinister hand pulls a lever, causing a wire to snap. The wire whips through the dance floor, brutally slicing through the dancing passengers. Everyone is killed instantly except for a young girl named Katie, who is spared due to her height. Katie witnesses the gruesome scene and screams in terror. 40 years later, we meet a salvage crew aboard their tugboat, the Arctic Warrior. The crew is led by Captain Sean Murphy and includes EPPS Maureen Epps, Dodge, Munder, Greer, and Santos. One evening, as the crew celebrates a recent successful salvage, they are approached by a man named Jack Ferriman. Jack introduces himself as a weather service pilot and tells them about an abandoned ship he spotted in the Bering Sea. He identifies the ship as the Antonia Grazia, which went missing 40 years ago. Jack suggests that there might be treasure aboard the ship, and the crew decides to investigate, hoping to strike it rich. The crew follows Jack's directions and eventually finds the Antonia Grazia adrift. Initially, they see nothing, but then the massive ship emerges from the fog, towering over their small tugboat. The crew is both excited and apprehensive. They board the derelict ship, leaving Jack and their tugboat behind. Once on board, they find the ship in a state of decay, filled with eerie sounds and ghostly apparitions. As the crew explores the ship, they encounter unsettling occurrences. They find a pendulum clock still ticking, and Dodge is almost hit by a moving pendulum. Epps sees a mysterious little girl who quickly disappears. The crew dismisses these events as their imaginations playing tricks on them, but Epps is convinced that something supernatural is happening. In their search, the crew finds a swimming pool with bullet holes and a flooded area. Epps sees the ghostly figure of Katie again, who warns her of the ship's dark past. In a cargo hold, they discover 9 wooden boxes filled with gold bars. Overjoyed by their find, the crew decides to take the gold and leave the ship. They plan to repair the hole in the ship and tow it back to shore, but things quickly go awry. While trying to repair the ship, Santos is killed in a mysterious explosion caused by a malfunctioning gas cylinder on their tugboat. The crew is shaken, but continues their efforts to salvage the gold. Epps becomes more and more convinced that the ship is haunted, especially after seeing more apparitions of Katie. Epps discovers more about the ship's gruesome past through Katie's ghost. Katie reveals that the ship is cursed and that many souls, including hers, are trapped on the ship. She explains that these souls cannot move on because the ship's evil collector, Jack Ferriman, needs to gather enough souls to satisfy his demonic master. Epps uncovers the horrifying truth. Jack Ferriman is not a weather service pilot, but the demonic entity responsible for the ship's curse. He orchestrated the massacre in 1962 and has been luring people to the ship ever since, using the promise of gold to trap their souls. Ferriman reveals that he is a soul collector working for the devil, and he needs Epps and her crew to complete his collection. Desperate to save herself and free the trapped souls, Epps decides to destroy the ship. She sets explosives around the ship, intending to sink it and break the curse. Ferriman tries to stop her, revealing his true form and attacking her. Epps fights back, managing to trigger the explosives and jump into the water just as the ship is blown apart. Epps is rescued by a passing ship and taken to a hospital. As she is being transported, she sees Ferriman boarding another ship with a new crew, suggesting that he will continue his sinister work. The cycle of horror and soul collecting will go on, leaving Epps with the chilling realization that the evil is not yet defeated.